Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Before coming to office, this government announced that it would produce a surplus in its first budget and every year after that. Last year, the Prime Minister announced bizarrely that he had, quote, brought the budget back to surplus next year, end quote. Isn't it the case that this government has never delivered a surplus, never will deliver a surplus, and had doubled the debt well before coronavirus hit?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What I know, Mr Speaker, is this government brought the budget back into balance before the COVID recession hit. And, Mr Speaker, those opposite seem completely oblivious. And, in fact, it is a carnival over there, Mr Speaker. It is embarrassing for the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Speaker, to not acknowledge that the COVID-19 global pandemic has prevented the government from achieving a surplus in the last financial year. Mr Speaker, he must be the only person on this planet who doesn't understand that the impact of the COVID-19 global pandemic on this country, on the jobs and livelihoods of this country, Mr Speaker.
Prime Minister, resume his seat. The Leader of the Opposition on a point of order.
On relevance, the question went to the Prime Minister's own statement that he had brought the budget back to surplus next year, that it had already happened well before coronavirus hit.
I'll just point out to the Leader of the Opposition the question did go to that, but it went to a number of other statements, preambles, statistics as well. So that does, yeah. Well, there's a lot of there was a lot in there, and I think we won't waste the time of the House by me reading back your own question to you. I've got a transcript of it here. The Prime Minister's in order.
And over those 6 years, as we brought the budget back into balance, those opposite fought us every step of the way. All the way through, Mr Speaker, they fought against the government as we sought to repair a budget they left in absolute tatters by their economic irresponsibility. With programs, Mr Speaker, like Cash for Clunkers, and the list goes on and on and on, Mr Speaker, where they failed in their responsibility to manage the budget. So over 6 years, and I would particularly acknowledge here in this place today, Mr Speaker, the work of the Minister for Finance, who this will be his 7th budget, Mr Speaker, and in the 6 years leading up to tonight's budget, Mr Speaker, he more than anyone has been responsible for ensuring that as we went into the COVID-19 global pandemic, that the budget of the Government of Australia was in a position to move quickly and strongly to ensure that we could cushion the blow, and we have cushioned that blow. We couldn't eliminate the blow, Mr Speaker. No country has been able to do that, but this country has done it better than almost any other developed country in the world today, with the speed of our response, but also the design of our response and the capability to respond, Mr Speaker, because of the work that has been done by this government year in, year out to repair the budget and bring it back to balance. Now, Mr Speaker, those opposite have shown no disposition to what it is necessary to try and restore a budget back to balance. And one of the things they don't understand is the way that we will restore the budget to balance again after we have moved through this crisis, should we be given that opportunity into the future, Mr Speaker, is by growing our economy, guaranteeing the essential services that Australians rely on and not increasing their taxes. Mr Speaker, that's how we brought the budget back into balance before this COVID-19 recession, and that is exactly how we'll do it again. People say, well, how are the jobs come back, Mr Speaker? They're already coming back. And under this government, we knew how to bring jobs back before, 1.5 million jobs before the COVID-19 recession hit. Those jobs are coming back, Mr Speaker, and they're coming back under our plan.